Am I the coolest sales manager? No, I am the coolest manager. And am I the coolest head of the sales department? I am exactly who you need. How many times have you heard this? Everyone around seems so cool, but when it comes down to business, nothing goes according to plan. And how can you check these people in advance? How can you be sure that this is truly an effective head of sales department? And how do you know that he is the one you need? That he is the kindred spirit of your company's sales? You will learn about all this in this video using my experience and a real case study that I will share at the end. Why do we even need a head of the sales department? Can't I just manage the managers myself? I often hear this question from company owners. Of course you can, but it is worth remembering that the company owner, managing director, or partner has many tasks and no focus on sales. And we know that results come where there is focus. As a company owner, you have dozens of tasks each day, so you only spend about an hour on the sales department and not even every day. Of course, you can't notice everything and keep track of everything. Therefore, managers may not develop, forget to process some requests, or engage in so-called fishing. They only seek the most interested clients and do not work with those who are not very interested yet. And that is why a head of sales department is needed, who checks the quality of the work done, improves it, sets the direction, creates a plan, and then sells it to the managers. In the same way, selling is not just about setting a plan. It is necessary to make the managers believe in this plan. And if he exceeds the qualifications of certain managers in some areas, provide them with resources and training so they can meet his standards. And now, get ready to note down what else the head of the sales department does. List. Monitors the metrics, how many calls or messages the manager has made, and how they fill out the CRM if there are no dashboards. Helps managers conduct meetings or provides feedback on them. Can handle VIP clients if the sales department and the company as a whole are small. Reports to the company owner about all managers, clients, and sales. Seeks new sales channels. For example, they develop a partner search strategy. Create scripts if they have the trainer's competence and enough time for it. Manages the testing process, for example, of a new lead source or a new advertising campaign. Develops training programs for managers, adaptation programs, and onboarding. And when the company grows large, 20, 50, 100 sales managers in the sales department, he can do this in conjunction with HR or bring in an external trainer. Overall, the head of sales department needs to ensure the efficiency of processing the incoming flow. That is, to ensure a certain conversion rate. If marketing invests money, creates text, websites, advertisements, and leads to attract the audience's attention, then the task of the sales department is to turn all those cold, warm, and hot contacts into money. This is to cover the cost of advertising and salaries and for the company owner to make a profit. Of course, the head of the sales department is responsible not for profit but for cash flow, because they do not always influence the expense part in most cases. For example, if a company makes approximately 5,000 cold contacts per month and processes 3,000 faded contacts, then their task is to increase the chances of converting each contact into a sale. For example, out of 10,000 contacts, to make 100 or 1,000 sales. In summary, he ensures the regularity of all the above-mentioned activities. That is, he regularly focuses on ensuring that the company not only has money in the account, but that it grows systematically, because a systematic sales department grows systematically. This raises the question, where can I find such a person? Is it supposed to be some kind of Batman or Superman who will come, handle everything, and bring the money to the cash register? Sure, let me create a job vacancy, we'll pay $2,000. Let them find the money for me and transform it however they want. Yes, this is an ideal picture, but reality shows that there are not enough qualified personnel in the market. Therefore, the task of the company owner is to have competence that is no worse than that of the head of the sales department, so that you can check it and help if needed, rather than just being someone who demands and controls. Or purchase training for the head of the sales department if you lack the time or expertise. And this is especially important for those businesses where the sales department has the greatest impact on the company's profit. So what should the head of the sales department be like? How do you choose the person who will hold such an important position? The head of the sales department must correspond to the exact state of the companies. If you have little money and need sales urgently, then a crisis manager who will pick up the phone, start calling, boost energy, and generally do everything will suit you better. But the regular management skills of such people may be low. For example, this week he is selling, next week he is hiring a manager, the third week he is going to a meeting with a manager, and now he is looking at what is right and what is wrong. And if you have a different situation with managers, money, and more or less stability already in place, then you need a person with an engineering mindset who will create a system, analyze the entire funnel, and implement improvements at all stages, because sales are a system without which money may be there today but gone tomorrow. So it all depends on what you need: money by yesterday or to do systematic work. And these are different people, different types. Okay, so when is it worth hiring? So how do you know when it's time to hire a head of sales department? There are two options. First, you have managers, they are paying off, and you just want to delegate management. You have profit, and you want even more stable and predictable profit. You understand that you have a reserve of funds, and you are hiring the head of the sales department not with your last money. That is, if they do not pay off, your business will not collapse. The second option, if you are short on money or it's your last money, then you need a specific special solution. For example, sometimes companies that approach me say, we need a manager. And I find out that he is not needed. For example, it is necessary to show the managers live calls and give them new energy so that they can pick up and continue working. And this will be cheaper and more beneficial than a head of sales department. That is, it is not a fact that you specifically need a head of sales department. Of course, I determined this during the audit. Because it's not always about the regulations of KPIs, unit economics, but sometimes it's just about needing a temporary powerful boost. But if you have clearly determined that you need a head of sales department, right now a new challenge arises: how to find one. The reality here is that a head of sales department who possesses all the aforementioned skills often works for themselves, has their own consulting agency, or is a business partner in another business and enjoys a good percentage of the profit. They can take 30 or 50% of the profit, sometimes 10. A great head of sales department is as rarefied as an expert doctor. Yes, nothing new. There are too few excellent specialists in any field. So let's put it this way. If you want a great head of sales department, ask yourself if your business is interesting, if your offer is attractive, and if your company is overall appealing. If you have a small company, top experts might look and think that they are too qualified for you, or simply that their services will be too expensive. But specialists need to be checked. I will briefly explain how. During the interview, be sure to discuss the following points. Case questions. For example, what would you do in this situation or in another? For example, if a manager is not developing, not learning the script, not reading books, what exactly will you do? It is even better to get into modeling, play the role of a manager, and invite the candidate for the head of the sales department to conduct negotiations. But if you can't quite play the role of a manager who doesn't want to learn, then you won't be able to conduct simulations, and you won't be able to assess the candidate what to do. Learn, damn it. Second, ask the candidate to show the regulations they have created before. Just say, show me the regulation. Third, describe the areas of work of the head of the sales department and which of them are key. Just ask like this. Fourth, ask the candidate what they do best and provide examples and facts. There are still a lot of questions and verification methods. Which of these suits you? Write to me in private. I have a checklist that I am ready to provide you if you really need it. You can download it. Can you afford it? I am confident that if you have 10, 15 employees, you can afford my consultation or management. If not, handle it yourself. Learn to teach others, understand, and together with the future head of the sales department, achieve results. Then, when the person grows, you will be able to delegate and be confident that you have properly handed everything over. With me, this will definitely be fast. I had a real case. A successful IT company with a staff of 60 employees. They hired a qualified head of the sales department who inspired me during our conversations. The salary was $5,000. The company owner told him, "That's it, go ahead, work." And he didn't check what was happening in the sales department. 6 months passed. The head of the sales department resigned, and it turned out that he had done nothing but put pressure on the managers. when the company owner finally asked the managers what was wrong. They said he was just a burden. And this is a good company. It turned out that the company owner still needs to understand what is happening in sales, not just delegate to a cool head of sales department. To summarize, there are several options. The first is to separate the sales manager from the current structure of the sales department if they have the real potential to become the head of the sales department. Second, hire a new one who knows everything if you can afford it. Third, hire a promising individual who doesn't know everything and train them. Fourth, find a head of the sales department on outsourcing. Which of these options suits you best? If you don't know, describe your situation to me on Telegram or Instagram, and we will figure out your sales together and find a solution. You can find the contact details in the description below the video. Also, check if you haven't forgotten to like the video.